You know you're starting in a horrible sequel when the title has to be appended with a crappy pun. That's right, today on the You're Blocking Dangerously, we are going to be talking about Speed 2, Cruise Control. And in this movie, the Speed universe has gone from being on a bus that can't help but go fast to being on a fucking cruise ship, which is kind of the antithesis of fast. Yes, they are going a whopping 17 or 18 knots throughout the course of the movie, but in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a clunky method of travel to be hijacking. But I guess if you're a rogue computer programmer who just happened to be fired by the company that designed all the autopilots for the ship, then it's your best thing to take over. Especially when there's a bunch of diamonds on board, coincidentally, and there are no manual overrides to your automated system. Go Hollywood for not having a fucking clue how computers work as usual. But I digress. This movie stars, quote, Sandra Bullock, because everything in the 90s that had, no understanding of computers seemed to have Sandra Bullock in it. Jason Patric, who's that guy that you think you recognize from somewhere, but you probably never watched any movie he was in because they all sucked. And Willem Dafoe, who has been in so many crappy movies that you begin to forget he actually was a good actor at one point in time. Yes, also notable appearances by Jeremy Holtz, who's a Canadian comedian who you may recognize from Just for Laughs and such, and he's not really well known anymore, but he was big and he's Canadian. And who's the other guy that really was notable? Oh yeah, it was Royale Watkins, the character Dante, who is throughout the whole bloody movie, and in fact has some really big hero moments. Didn't even get top of the billfold billing on IMDb. Just goes to show how undervalued some of these supporting characters can be. Things the movie proved. Well, it didn't prove it to me. I already knew. Deaf Girls Rock. If you're going to book a cruise, don't book the cruise with the crazy guy who insists his golf clubs are the most important thing in the world, but really he harbors a secret love of leeches. And in the screenwriters of this movie knew boats and medicine far less than they did computers, and that's saying a lot. Yes, the Willem Dafoe's John Geiger character, who they never refer to his first name, so I don't know why they would ever mention John Geiger in the credits. Geiger is he's got copper poisoning in his blood from being around computers too long. Apparently electromagnetics can poison you with copper. Who knew? Hell, I'm probably going to die of it in the next 5 minutes. Before this thing is over, I should probably die of copper poisoning. I'm around computers so much. And yeah, just the whole way they lay out ships and the fact that anybody thinks it's a sane plan to flood the bloody ship to slow it down. It's just a little dumb. Just a little bit. Yeah, and the fact, of course, that they don't have any manual overrides, and apparently shutting down the engines blew half the fucking engine room up. Oi. But things to love about this movie. There are things to love about this movie. It's a cheesy 90s over-the-top action flick where sailboats explode, yet speedboats that go flying through the air and slam into buildings don't explode because for comedic effect the guy needs to stand up and have a bunch of fruit fall on his head. These are things I love. The movie starts off with the cliched rogue cop chasing the bad guys, straight into the bunch of product placement boxes drop out the back of a truck, and he has to dodge them cliche, and just keeps on rolling on the train of crazy. Yeah, props for the company NEC for getting product placement in there, and then becoming irrelevant very shortly after the movie came out. Yeah, well, very shortly is a relative term, I guess. It's just beat for beat, one of the craziest, over-the-top, stupidly improbable movies of all time. And again, it's a little bit of speed, but a little bit of Die Hard on a boat. It's just ridiculous. It is, and I love it. I couldn't follow up a good movie with a good movie, though, could I? No, I had to torture myself. That's what I have to do this month because, well, no one demands it but me, apparently. I'm just fucking dumb. Anyway, as usual, I have been the Serial Killer. Questions, comments, concerns, death threats, put them in the comment section below. I will talk to you tomorrow about probably another horrible movie.